Hello and welcome to Down the Slope. As ever, I'm Ewan, back on hosting duties, and we've got a full house plus one this evening, a little special interview, and what feels like an extended international break. But we'll get to the usuals first. Greg, how you doing?
I'm not bad, mate. How's yourself?
Good, good. Harry?
I'm getting a bit angsty without any of the football, to be honest. I just kind of spent the weekend bored, essentially. But yeah, no, looking forward to the semi already. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Hi, Liam. What's that now? A week and a half, almost 2 weeks since the Celtic game. How you coping with Hibs?
It's football when you've got no skin in the game is boring, eh? Like I was watching quite a lot of football over the weekend, and when you've not got any interest in the game, I really struggle to get excited about it. So I'm missing Hibs badly, and the fact that we still got almost another 2 weeks to the semi-final just means that when that Sunday comes in the semi-final, I am going to be absolutely full of it because I'm so buzzing for it.
Me too. And I guess we should probably tell people Jake Doyle-Hayes has joined us tonight. Jake, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thanks. All good.
Good. How are you coping with not having a game for a couple of weeks? As bored as us?
Yeah, it's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Yeah, I was looking forward to the Ross County game because this the second half of the Celtic game, I thought we actually improved in the second half, and we started to get back to the way we were playing. So going into that Ross County game, I was excited and looking forward to it. But obviously other things happened and just have to get on with it, I suppose.
Yeah, well, speaking of getting on with it, let's crack on. Let's no longer ask Greg, Harry and Liam anything. Jake, you're our main priority tonight. First off, who's the best player you've ever played beside and why?
There's quite a few, to be fair. Could name loads of players, to be honest. It's hard to pick one, but I think I have to say Grealish. Yeah, I have to say it. Where unbelievable talent, like the player he is now, him at City, like unbelievable what he's doing. I know it's hard to pick, but I think he's definitely the one that I would say.
Yeah. Did your paths at Villa cross with John McGinn as well, just or?
Yeah, a little bit. I was there for probably a few months, but then I went out on loan and stuff. So, I trained with him a few times and met him. What a guy, like legend of a guy. I still keep in touch with him, and when I moved to Hibs, he gave me a message just to say good luck and stuff like that. So yeah,
nice. Perfect. So growing up in Ireland, what was it like? Sort of early football memories, and what was it like getting into sort of professional football in your younger days?
Yeah, so my first memory is probably my first team trained literally outside my house. We have a little bit of a green, so just the kids got together. My dad put together like a football team, and we all got together and trained outside like my house. So it's really good around all your pals and stuff like that. Obviously, it's not too serious then, and especially back home where football then wasn't the main sort of sport. We had Gaelic football at home. That was the main sort of thing for kids my age. So it was just having a laugh with my mates and stuff like that. And yeah, it's got definitely back home. Football's got bigger because there's been a few people that's went across the water and stuff like that. So that's good. It's good to see football getting bigger at home, definitely.
So obviously, you say football maybe wasn't like the number one sport when you were growing up. What was youth football in Ireland like? Obviously, in Scotland and England, there seems like there's professional football clubs coming out for every corner.
Yeah. So where I'm from at home it's a countryside county. Everyone sort of knows everyone. Them sort of places, and football wasn't really big. It's the football, as I said, but there's go to top clubs. You probably have to go to Dublin and stuff like that, which I wasn't really too fussed about, to be honest. There's tournament stuff like that at home where you get spotted by clubs, so I was happy to keep playing around with my pals. Like I just enjoyed football, and I wasn't really at that age. I wasn't like thinking, oh, I might end up across the water, because I never seen that sort of before. But I was delighted to get the chance to go to Villa, and I went around a few different clubs. on trials and stuff like that. But you know, it's really good and it's getting better, as I said. So I'm delighted that people are getting more of an opportunity at home where I'm from. Definitely.
And so, like, obviously, football wasn't the main sport. Who was your team growing up?
I support Liverpool. Just because my dad supported Liverpool. He took me younger and to a Champions League game, and you know, just the first time you walk in under the lights when they're singing songs, unbelievable. I won't forget it. So I still follow them. Yeah, still follow them today.
Harry, I think you're going to...
Awesome. Liverpool, disappointing for me, not the biggest fan myself. Ewan's got quite a soft spot for Liverpool, so you've got another Scouser on the pod with you. But yeah, you were talking about the transition over to Aston Villa. Sounds like it was quite unique. How did that actually come about?
So I went to a tournament with my local team called the Galway Cup. So loads of teams come out. I think even like Celtic might come over and stuff like that to play in the tournament. So it's loads of scouts from all different clubs, and they obviously, Aston Villa got onto my team and said they'd like to take me over. So I went over when I was quite young, and I went over quite a few times because I was still in school and stuff like that. So I was I'm not going to lie, I wasn't too fussed about missing school and stuff. So no, I was delighted to get a chance to go over and stuff. And when I went over, it's an amazing place, like, and it's so far, so different to what I'm used to and stuff. So I'm delighted to get the opportunity. And thankfully, I got signed and started from there, yeah.
And what particularly attracted you about Villa? You said you had trials with a few different clubs.
Yeah, when I was there was Roy Keane was the assistant manager. There was so many Irish people there. It was mental. It was just home, to be honest. It was mad. No, but I had a chat. To sit there with Roy Keane was amazing, just to have a chat, and he sort of I didn't really need much convincing, but he sort of told me a lot about the club and what I'll be doing there and where I could go. So I was delighted to get the chance. And when you're speaking to someone like Roy Keane, it's hard to sort of not pay much attention to what he's saying.
Yeah, and was there any other like influencing factors whilst you were there that you've kind of taken you've got memories of what they said and it's resonates with you to this day? Because obviously you mentioned like Jack Grealish, Roy Keane, John McGinn.
No, just seeing, because when I first went there, for them bringing academy players and stuff into the first team, they had a really high success rate. I remember, so I was thinking maybe I'll get a chance if I work hard and get my head down. You never know what will happen. So it was I think the people around the club were really good and helped me settle in and stuff like that. So no, it was a really good place to be, and I really enjoyed my time there. Yeah.
And just one last one for me just now. What was it like going on loan? Can you tell us about the different spells that you went out on loan in England and what the different dynamics was compared to Scotland?
Yeah, I went my first loan was to Cambridge United. I went on loan there. I think it reached the end. It didn't go too well for me. I picked up a few injuries and stuff like that. I only played the game, but it was definitely a different experience. Go see different training grounds and stuff like that, different facilities from what I was used to at Villa and stuff. And it was definitely an 100%. But I never took that for granted, what I had at Villa and stuff like that. But because of where my background and where I came from, I think that sort of, I knew what the difference could be, and then I went on loan to Cheltenham, and I think that loan spell was quite successful for me personally. I played a lot of games and for the club as well. I went there, got to a playoff final. We got beaten in the playoff final, but I had really good experiences there and met a lot of good people there and still have good memories from there. And obviously when I went back to Villa, I knew I wasn't getting a new contract. It was tough. It was tough to take, but I said I'm not going to give up. I'll get my head down and keep working hard. And then obviously St. Mirren gave me the chance then. So I'm grateful for them to give me the chance. And I think I done quite well. Had an okay season last season. So and obviously that's brought me to where I am today.
Thank you. I believe Greg's got a few questions now.
Yeah, so just on the move to St Mirren, what was kind of your thoughts before moving? Did you have an idea of what sort of the standard would be like?
Yeah, so I took an interest in Scottish football. Like being at home, you sort of are always watching out for the Scottish leagues and stuff. But I spoke to a few people before I came, and obviously spoke to the manager, Jim Goodwin, before I came, and he sort of enlightened me on what it would be like, and I thought I was ready to play and give it a go. But it was, to be honest, I was off at home training by myself for a long time, and there's a few sniffs where to go, different places. But when I spoke to him, to be fair, and it'd be a good place to sort of try kickstart my career again, definitely.
Yeah, and obviously last season was strange, obviously with no fans. What was that like?
Yeah, it was difficult for me. I love playing, and you sort of buzz off the energy of the fans, even when you come into the ground and you see them walking around, and it's a different buzz, definitely. So I haven't played in front of many fans. But when I came here and we're playing in front of thousands of people, and I remember, I don't know if the Livingston game or Ross County game at home here this season, I think it was the first time we had like the full capacity after the unbelievable walking out. Yeah, walking out, it was unbelievable when they were singing. So I'll definitely never forget that. And yeah, that was an amazing atmosphere that day.
Yeah. And what did you kind of make? What did you make of Hibs last season, obviously, when you were at St Mirren?
Yeah, I remember I played against them where I didn't play at Easter Road. I played when we were at home at St Mirren, and no, it's definitely a tough game. You could see the talent they had throughout the squad, and they're an unbelievable team, and the way they played sort of it did it. I was sort of thinking there, like I love playing that team, and they have some good players, so it's going to be tough to get in the team. But I always sort of had my eye on, oh, I'd love to be in that team, or what could I do in that team, So it was definitely thought they're a really good team, and they're exciting to watch.
Who impressed you the most, obviously, last season when you were St Mirren against Hibs? Who was the one player that really stood out?
It's tough, really, because I'm a midfielder. Like when I seen Joe play and stuff like that, I was thinking, it's good, man. Like I liked watching Joe play, and you have like Boylians. There's so many people that you could say, like, it's. I remember last season when we played against them, I actually rolled the ball back to our keeper, and Boyle got in front and intercepted it, and the keeper got sent off. Thinking this, like,
remember that actually.
Yeah.
Believe how fast he was. And no, but Joe impressed me a lot last season.
And it sounds like Jake, well, if newspaper rumours are to be believed, which obviously isn't always the case, it sounds like there was maybe a wee bit of other interest from other teams before you signed for Hibs. Is there anything you can tell us about other interest you had from other clubs?
There's a bit of interest. The reports are, not all of them are always right, but yeah, there's interest from different teams. But she went, the manager gave me a ring here. I was thinking, definitely there was no other. I didn't have any other thought in my head, to be honest. I was like, when can I come? Like, you know what I mean? It was definitely a big opportunity. I knew how big a club it was, and what it was for me to play for the club. Yeah. I was delighted.
When a lot of players join, or when a lot of players sign for Hibs, they do this kind of like interview after they signed, and they always talk about the training ground as being a big factor in signing for Hibs. But could you tell us about, other than the training ground, maybe a couple other factors that were involved and you've been interested in wanting to sign for the club?
Yeah, so to be honest, before I the first day I seen the training ground was when I was signing, so I hadn't seen the training ground or nothing like that. But that wasn't a big factor for me. Once I had a pitch, like, I was grand, just training. It was grand, but like I spoke to the manager and he was sort of speaking about like where he wanted to bring the club and what his plans were and stuff like that. And I bought into it straight away, you know, and then seeing like the size of the club and the opportunity that it was for me, it was a no-brainer for me, to be honest. It's a great place to be, and I'm delighted to be here and settled in around the place quite well and stuff. So yeah, I'm delighted.
I take a lot of credit for suggesting at the end of last season, we did a transfer window sort of speculation thing at the end of last season, and I tipped you to sign for Hibs on a fee contract. So I take a lot of credit. I think Jack Ross and John Potter have got a lot of thanking to do that tipped them on that signing. When you signed, Jake, it's interesting because the kind of player you are, I guess I've probably been a wee bit surprised at the kind of player you are, because you were advertised at St Mirren as maybe being someone who spends quite a lot of time disrupting play and breaking stuff up. But actually, one of the things I've been quite surprised in your time at Hibs is you seem to be someone who's always available for a pass. You're always kind of making space and looking to start things and get things going. Is that the kind of player that you would say you are? And as a follow-up to that question, if you could compare yourself to another central midfielder we might have heard of out there and out there playing at the moment, who would it be?
But to answer your first question, I actually hated that label that I had, was sort of a disruptive player. I'd win the ball. Like, I can do that stuff, I don't mind it, you know. But when I was at Cheltenham before I went to St Mirren, I was getting in the box, getting on the end of things, you know. I went to St Mirren, that label where I was sort of a deep player, CDM sort of player, and it wasn't like I wasn't disappointed with having that label, but it's like, I think I've got more to my game, do you know what I mean? But I feel like, obviously, I need to chip goals and assists and stuff like that, but I don't mind whatever the manager will ask me to do, I'll do it. But I feel like I can sort of maybe do both sides of the game. To answer your other question, I don't know.
That's a Daily Record headline. That's a Daily Record headline. Wait, Jake Doyle-Hayes compares himself to Patrick Vieira or whatever. Jake, I just want to tag. Obviously, you've said you maybe weren't best pleased with the tag that you got leaving St Mirren. There was quite a lot of backlash from the St Mirren fans, I think, when maybe it was said you weren't going to sign a new deal, and then obviously you got a bit of a hard time from them at Easter Road. Do you think that was called for?
No, I don't think so. To be honest with you, they offered me a new contract before Christmas last year, and me and my agent sat down and talked about it and said, look, we're not going to sign anything now. And the manager knew everything like that. So, and he was sort of, I don't want to say I'm bad about their manager, but he was sort of putting it out to their fans that I was going to sign it so close, but it never really was, to be honest. So the fans were sort of just going off what he was saying, and then I think they just thought that I just left as soon as the Hibs came in, you know what I mean? But it was never like I was very close to signing anyway.
Just like everyone else at St Mirren does anyway. As soon as Hibs are sniffing about, they're all on there, mate. Obviously, just at the start of your Hibs career, was that the first time you'd sort of had European football as well this season?
Yeah, it was one unbelievable, travelling to them places and playing in different atmospheres. Like when we played Rijeka away, that atmosphere was mental. Like they had sort of like ultras behind the goal, which were like it was a surreal atmosphere, you know. It was a different atmosphere than sort of like a league, like a different atmosphere, league game and stuff like that. But it was tough because we had no real fans traveling because of the restrictions and stuff like that. But no, it was unbelievable experiences, and pity we couldn't keep going, because I felt like even in that React game we could have, I know we had the man sent off and stuff like that, but I think we had them on the ropes a bit before that, and it was just a pity we couldn't keep it going. But hopefully we can can push for them places this season and maybe get back into them competitions next year.
It's been obviously a season that's already probably been a season of two halves, to use that great football cliche. Great start to the season, some really good wins. I know I fucking love a cliche. Great start to the season, obviously. Good unbeaten start, and then really one result against Rangers, which in retrospect, I think it's fair to say, probably one decision that really turned the game against Rangers, and that seemed to almost be a bit of a turning point for the season. How important do you think that semi-final against Rangers is for helping us get the momentum back and get going again this season?
Yeah, I know we did have a very good start, and I know that Rangers game was disappointing because I thought up to the sending off we were doing quite well, but we've had a bad couple of results, and it doesn't make us a poor team. Like, we're still the same players, you know what I mean? I think the quality within the group, throughout the group, is there for everyone to see, and I think we can bounce back, and I think there's a great mentality throughout the squad, and no one's gonna just lie down and take it, you know what I mean? We're definitely going to bounce back, and that Rangers game is something to look forward to, having the opportunity to get to a cup final is something that doesn't come around too often, and definitely we're going to be up for it, and hopefully we can get back to the way we're playing at the start of the season.
Yeah, obviously at the start of the season, things were looking very rosy. The team just had a new lease of life from last year. It felt like we'd actually improved over the summer. In recent weeks, I think fans are always going to be very reactive to results, and losing 4 games in a row, no matter who the team is going to be frustrating for the fans. What is it that the team actually need to do to lift it and need to do differently from the games that we've lost recently to put us back to where we were at the start of the season?
Yeah, it's definitely I know the fans' frustrations because I'm a fan of Liverpool, and if Liverpool get beat, I'm annoyed. You know what I mean? I know stuff, but I think in training, we're not slacking in training. Training still the way we're training at the start of the season. I think that needs to keep going, and I think tough to say what we need to do to. I think I think it's just we need to get back to the way. I know we get back to the way we're playing, but it's a tough sort of question. I don't know how to answer it.
Do you think that even the reappearance of Kyle McGuinness will make quite a difference? Because we were hoping for a big impact from him this season. He's played very well when he has them.
Yeah, no, definitely. Listen, you're going to have injuries throughout the season, and you can't just, because we've had a few injuries, we can't just let the defeats come in, and we can't start losing and drawing games just because you have a few injuries. You know what I mean? But definitely, it's not an excuse. But definitely having them boys coming back will definitely help the squad. But I think we just need to get our head down and keep working hard, keep doing what we're doing, and I think the results will come. We don't actually need to change too much in how we're preparing for games, what we're doing on the training pitch and stuff, because that's what we were doing at the start of the season. So I think if we keep sort of believing in the way we play and stuff, I think we'll get our form back.
Definitely.
Obviously, the next game, like you say, is the semi-final. Are you feeling in a good place? Obviously, the club's obviously had the issues with COVID and stuff that's been well documented over the last couple of weeks. Do you think, as long as everyone comes out it in a clean bill of health, hopefully, that it could be a good almost reset on the back of the 4 runs and feel good going into the semi-final?
100%. I think everyone in the team's really looking forward to the game, and I don't know if you're not looking forward to that game. I don't think you should be playing. You know what I mean? Should be. And I think we'll definitely try and bounce back, and I think there's no excuses really. You need to get yourself up for the game. We're going to have a couple of weeks training before the game and stuff, so we're definitely going to be fit and ready to go for the day.
Do you reckon there's much value in a couple of pound on Jake Doyle-Hayes' first goal scorer?
Oh God, a lot of people have said I lost a lot. So Geez, I don't know. Hopefully, be a first goal definitely.
Obviously, you said that you didn't like that tag. Is it was like sort of coming through the ranks at Villa and stuff? Like, were you a player that did score and assist a lot?
Yeah, I think I was sort of. I'm sort of a number 8 where since I've started playing football, I was sort of in both boxes and getting on the end of things, tidying things up, breaking up play. It's not like I didn't like the tag. If a manager wanted me to do that job, I'd do it, but I feel like I can still influence games in the opponent's half as well. Well, listen, I need to score goals and assist more, so to maybe take that tag away from myself. Do you know what I
How
mean?
aware, Jake, are you of Hibs? This is a bit of a point of question. I might just be making aware of you of it right now, but how aware of you are the fact that Rangers haven't beaten us at Hampden since 1979? And we also there was this thing that happened in 2016 as well, Jake. You might or might not have heard about it. Hibs fans don't talk about it a lot, but we did beat them 3-2, a last minute winner at Hampden in a Scottish Cup final. Is that something that the players are aware of, and I guess the fans' expectations aligned to that?
I suppose if you're on social media, you're very aware of it. You're very aware that believe the memories. We're hopeful that we can create more of them memories. Definitely, yeah.
Good. Well, Harry normally subjects us to a Harry's High B quiz. Liam hit us with a sort of Hibs Guess Who last week. But Jake, what we're going to subject you to is a la Soccer AM teammates, a Harry's version of that. So try as quick fire. First thing that comes to your head as possible, best as possible. When it comes to these, I've just seen some of the questions. What was that? Sorry.
This could be dangerous.
Well, I've just seen some of these questions that Harry's just put into the chat, and yeah, good luck.
Yeah, I like the daft things in life, so don't worry. There's nothing too tasking. So, who would be your number one choice to go for a pint with at the club at the moment?
I'd have to say Porto.
Okay. Has he got good chat, or is he just good to be around when he's had a drink or two?
Correct, yeah. Okay.
And who's got the worst dress sense? Who, when they're not wearing their football kit, who always dresses the worst?
Oh my God. Geez. There's actually a few, like when we're going in, some people don't really care, just wearing shorts and t-shirts and that. Some people proper have a goal, like, so it could be, oh my God, there's a few.
Is it worse for the people? Oh, sorry, what was that?
I'd have to say Josh Campbell.
Is it worse for the people that make effort? Like, if you just show up in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt then, or a hoodie, then fair enough. But if you're making an effort before training, that's a bit try hard, isn't it?
I'm saying Scott Allen, mate. Wow. He probably I'd say it's actually
Oh, amazing. And if you're driving the car, who are you most likely to give the aux cord to? Who's got the best music taste?
The DJ is Porter. Yeah, he plays all the music before the games and that. So yeah, it's good. Like, I have no complaints about the music. So yeah, it's grand.
And what's the best tunes that he puts on that gets you most amped up?
What songs did he play? It's actually a range of songs. Like, there's so many different genres. Like, it could be anything, to be honest. So there's a lot. There's no Irish music in there, which I'm a bit disappointed about. But
all right, well, your homework from us, you need to get at least a couple of Irish tunes in there, and you need to feed back to us which ones you've got in, because we do like our Irish music here on this podcast. But that's a chat for another time. But going back to the pub, who's your pub quiz partner? If you've got one person in the team to take on a pub quiz with you, who are you taking?
Joey Rice, definitely.
Ooh,
he hosted the quiz show, didn't he?
Okay.
Yeah.
Jay Wright's one of those guys that's quite smart, but he's like slyly quite smart, because he doesn't look like an intelligent guy, does he?
Nah,
it's not an insult. He just doesn't look it.
I know. I get what you're saying.
The same way like Harry's the only one out of us four that's got a degree, and if you were to ask anyone that was watching on YouTube, they'd probably not say that.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself. Goodness. All right. Well, if Hibs were to have their own TV show, who in the squad at the moment would be the protagonist? Who'd be the lead character?
It would have to be Boiler. No, he's a bit of a live wire, to be honest. If you haven't noticed, get mad. Yeah, nah,
is he actually as daft as folk make out? Like, is he actually that bad?
So lively. Just absolutely mad. I've never met anyone like him, to be honest.
I met Martin Boyle once in a pub and I said hi to him and I just told him I loved Hibs and he put me in a headlock and gave me a noogie. That kind of summarises Boyle to a T. He's just an absolute gent of a guy. He's so lovely and friendly. And if you're in goals, who's got the hardest shot? Who would you just jump out the way if they took a shot at when you were in goals?
Hardest shot. It's definitely not me or Joe because our shots are so like they're like more. I don't know. I'd say Nizzy has a strike on him. To be fair, yeah, I'd say Nizzy. Yeah, Nizzy went.
Interesting. He's kind of went more for placement this season as opposed to power because last season he had a few corkers, but this season he's kind of like the one that hit the post against Motherwell. He just kind of tries to place it in, so that's interesting.
I half expected the answer to be Jamie Gullen there, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, Jamie Gullen, yeah, I was about to say him there. No, he can actually win that, you know. He's got both feet, he can hit left foot. Yeah, no, yeah, I'll take Jamie Gullen actually. Yeah, he wins that one. Yeah, good job.
And one last one for you. If you were to be stuck on an island for a week, you have no technology, you're just stuck on an island, who would be the best person to be stuck with and who would be the worst person to be stuck with?
Oh my God. Oh. You know what? I'd say Gogger might be the best one to be stuck with. He's a good guy. He's a legend. I like to be, he's same guy. So who'd be what? I say Kevin Dabrowski. Yeah, most titles, all I reckon that guy has.
Oh, please! Has anybody ever called him out for wearing his not wearing a bib when he's?
Oh, that drives me fucking insane.
But I just don't understand why.
He's like full kit all the time.
So obviously, if you're starting, JT, we'll see it. But when at the halftime warm up, he comes out full goalie kit on, and I'm kind of stupid things in life that you look at and you're like, that's really fucking annoying. That's one of them. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I think we should flip these questions then to see if we can get you into some hot water with some of your teammates. So, who would be the worst to go for a pint with?
Oh my God, you know. I would say Kev as well. Kev again. He just fucking.
So somebody's will be okay though. So best dress sense then.
Other than yourself, obviously.
Aye.
I say Doyle-Hayes got a good dress sense. He's like just casual, just. I say Doyle-Hayes. Yeah.
Do you know what inspired the injury lockdown Baldy though?
Say that again.
Do you know what inspired the buzz cut since he's been injured?
Nah, I don't know. You know, some people do that when they're injured. Just go for it, and I don't know. Right.
Sorry. Wait. So, Jake, if you get an injury, can we expect to see a bald head by the time you're
Or I've seen.
So who would be the least likely to be the dressing room DJ then, if Pochus is the most likely?
No, I'd actually have to say myself. I don't think I'd ever get to off squad because it's just Irish song. Like I say, it's just country music, and I don't think anyone likes it. So I would have to say.
And who would
we'd enjoy that, to be fair. We would enjoy that. So
and who would be the worst pub quiz partner? not Kevin Dabrowski, seeing as he's already been thrown under the bus a couple of times.
He's going to kill me.
He's a big laddie as well.
Yeah, he is. Maybe the worst. Oh my God. Oh, give me a sec.
I think if it's taken this long, you might be the one.
Boy, look. We've had a quiz season and he was no help to our team at all.
And then so two left. So who would be the least likely to be main character in a TV show? So who's the one that doesn't like the spotlight?
There's a few quiet ones, to be fair. Say I'm a quiet one, but I'll give it to someone else. I'd say yeah, Josh Campbell he's quiet, but he just gets on with his work. He just quiet, head down. So I'd say he could get the vote.
And then the final one, you obviously said yourself and Joe's shots are pretty poor. So outside the two of you, who's got the worst shot at the club?
Can't include the goalies, obviously.
Daz McGregor, surely, yeah.
Oh no, I can't say that. And that's bad about Daz.
Hey, he scored a naked at Dundee United last year, I know.
I haven't seen Paul hit a shot like really, so I'll give it to Paul.
Perfect. Lads, any more awkward questions?
Just one thing that I've noticed you spoke about Josh Campbell quite positively a few times. Obviously, we've not seen him feature too frequently within the first team. What type of player can we expect? Because he's one of those players that we've been quite excited about for a few years. So it'd be good to know from a teammate's perspective what type of player you think he is.
Yeah, no, I think I've been impressed with him since I came here. My first game I played was away in Andorra, and he actually played in that game as well. And it was he done well, and he's good to play with. He came on against Celtic there and done quite well and gave us something different, So I think he works hard on the training pitch as well, and I think when he gets his opportunity, obviously I know he'll be ready and stuff. So he's that type of player that keeps his head down and works hard. So he's.
Any more awkward questions for Jake then?
I'm not making
me put him in any more hot water with the teammate questions. Well, I think is that about us then, lads. Jake, thank you very much for joining us.
All right.
And best of luck in the semi-final. We hope to be celebrating your first goal and a place in the League Cup final.
Shirt off and all. Into
the crowd.
Celebration as it taps off.
Let me get the fans back on the pitch again, but we'll see.
We're actually handing you the Ox. We're handing you the Ox one time, not physically, but we're actually running our first ever down the slope bus to the semi-final. What is two Irish songs that we need to put through the speakers at some point whilst we're on our way?
Oh wow! No, I like any Christy Moore song. You know Christy Moore.
We know who Christy Moore is, aye. Viva la Quinta Brigada live.
Yeah, that one. I believe, but yeah, that one I knew, but.
Well, Jake, fingers crossed you don't get injured, but if you do, then you could just sack half
we'll
the team.
To the Ox on the bus.
No, Jake, thank you very much for joining us, and like I say, best of luck in the semi-final and for the rest of the season.
Yeah, cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, Jake.